interview and to be asked all those questions and who are you and what is the statement that you're making and what style are you and all those things. I kind of never had those challenges before, and so kind of coming off the show, I kind of have to what am I about and what sort of statements am I making as an artist, and am I blues, am I pop, what am I? And so I think that this show sort of kind of helped. It kind of was a fun challenge, and it kind of woke me up and made me realize, how to connect with people better, and getting all those voice lessons and stuff in the show too, and the coaching, and I still got to experience so many cool things, with Blake, and around the piano with Blake and Sheryl Crow, and they got to hear my voice, which is amazing, and to have some these people with so much experience kind of give their 2 cents on what it is that you do. You can kind of grow in 10 years from 10 seconds of advice sometimes, when you have someone speaking to you versus trying to figure it out all on your own. And so I just had such great words spoken over me and into my life during that short-lived process that I'll have for the rest of my life. And I'm real excited about kind of this sort of next chapter and next season, that the voice sort of kind of inspired me and kind of felt like gave me a little jump start,
What was the best advice that Blake or Sheryl gave to you that you took from there?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think. Sheryl had said some things as far as we were singing a song called Me and My Bobby McGee by Janis Joplin, and it was me and the other gal, and it was sort of the very first moment I sort of opened my mouth and just kind of didn't really think about what I was singing. Not in the sense of lyrically speaking. It's just natural. I just let what comes out of me naturally. I just started singing. They really responded well, and Blake had said, "Man, Trevor, as soon as he heard my voice, and he was like, it doesn't seem like there's a style that you can't sing or a note that you almost can't hit." And so that he was really encouraging, and so was Sheryl Crow. But then as we kept singing the song, I don't know if I started to overthink it more and kind of do those things. So they both kind of encouraged me to just peel back sort of like the overthinking, and kind of as you go along, you can start to overthink things, and you kind of forget sort of your first approach to things. It's just sort of I don't know what the right word would be, but just sort of abandon, if you will. You just kind of don't know what's around the corner. You sort of exist where you're at in the moment. And then as you kind of keep doing it, you sort of overthink things. And they both kind of had that words of advice to me to just kind of sing it as I sang it the first time. And I think that's sort of what the show has done for me. As I kind of been doing music full-time for about 10 years, I've kind of gone further and further away from what music was when I first started. And I think the show, again, through the sort of encouragement and discouragements and all those things, I feel like sort of I'm at this sort of ground level of excitement, and it's almost like I never did it. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a new, fresh start for me, and I kind of needed that sort of what do you call that when you cut a plant? Pruning. I just kind of needed to be pruned. Yeah, I needed to be pruned. There was just like these old branches that just had existed for too long, that were just too thought over, and I needed to just let them, just get rid of them and just sort of start from scratch. And I think that's what the show has done for me.
Yeah, because sometimes when you learn a lot, it can, distract you. So basically just close your eyes, feel the music, and let it flow. I think that's probably the best thing that you can do.
Totally, and that's how I started. That was my approach.
And there you go. So now you're right back there, and you were on the right track before. Now you're back on it again.
Yeah.
Now, what message would you like your music to convey to your fans?
I think as far as this, I think I want to, I'm taking this next record. I've been definitely toiling with different visions, and I haven't necessarily unleashed them fully to people yet. I'm sort of kind of brewing over them, and they're kind of all sort of in the crock pot. And I definitely want to approach things with simplicity, definitely focusing on song content, songs being, and you hear this from people time and time again, some of the biggest producers they say it's all about song. And it's one thing to say it, but to do the work to find the right songs and to really know that they are good songs is the kind of where I'm at right now. Definitely just writing a song or trying out a different song and basically asking people and sort of getting a lot of people's sort of votes on songs and whether these songs sort of can stand the test of time. Because once you've got the right songs, you can kind of do anything you want with them. It doesn't really matter how they're produced or, whether you have violin or no violin or whether it's mixed by this person or all those things. It kind of doesn't really matter. And so my approach to this next sort of record and season of my life is to just find those sort of golden songs that just sort of transcend everybody to a place of inspiration, a place of just a great place. And then even once I have those songs, then I want to go about doing them kind of different and creatively. For example, one of my ideas, which I kind of prematurely letting out there, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this one, so don't hold me to it, but is to come out with a record that I'm going to come out with a song probably around one song a month and release them sort of in a live video type of way, and then you can also have that song in an audible way, and to do those songs all in a different, really creative setting with maybe creative instrumentation. Like me and a violin player in a rowboat, with just kind of in some video cameras around us and recording it live. You know what I mean? So that moment actually is actually captured and people can both see it visually and hear it audibly. Versus, I feel like when I go to make a record, it's sort of like, you want people to support you in making a record, and you kind of just disappear and you go in this sort of cave, this studio, if you will, and then you come out and you want people to kind of understand and be with you in what you experienced back there. It kind of becomes past tense, and yet you were trying to bring it into future tense and make people real excited about it. I kind of want everything to sort of be in the moment. So I want, if I'm working on a particular song, I want to record that song in a certain setting that I feel like that's catering to that particular song, and then record that, and that moment is actually recorded and both captured visually, and everyone's with me. And then as I grow and experience life, even from a month later, I'm a little bit different that month than I was last month, and now I'm recording another song. And so it's sort of like a journal that is actually kind of in real time, and I think it gives fans something both that is not just cataloged, and then I'm trying to push that and make people be excited about that for a year, which is what everyone else is doing. And so I'm just trying to rethink things, and I'm coming at it from like, what would I be excited about in the artist, and as a fan, like what would I be interested in? And I think what I'd be interested in is that, like that I actually get to sort of live and breathe life with, the artist that I like, and it's not something that is, cataloged as a museum piece, and I'm supposed to go look at it whenever I feel like, and it's something that's sort of past tense, but it's something that's more like I'm invited into their house and I can hang out with them once a month.
Right.
It'd be a lot cooler,
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely thinking outside of the box, and for fans, we don't just listen to music. We go to YouTube and we watch the videos as well. So that's your gift to us, intermittently when you finish a song, and we get to go watch it. And like you said, live in the moment with you. And I think that's a great idea, and I'm so looking forward to that. And now that you said it on air, and even though you said don't hold me to it, I'm holding you to it.
All right. Well, the thing about the whole video thing is that it, to record audio and have someone mix it and do all those things, that costs money. But then also to have video guys edit and do all that stuff, it's so much work, and you got lighting and you got all these things. And not that I have to do it extremely professional, but, it's a lot of funding. And so I'm actually, for the first time, going to do a thing called Kickstarter, which a lot of people have been doing. And so that's kind of how I've been approaching it, is like, how can I, ask for support, but do it in a way that I'm asking for support, not for the same thing that everyone else has been asking for support in, but actually I'm asking to support me in something that is a different sort of movement that I'm trying to do and create, but it does, it does cost to do this. And so if I raise the funds, how it works is if you raise your funds, then you actually get to keep the funds and to do it. But if you don't raise that amount, then basically you don't get any of the money. So that's sort of kind of the vision I'm going towards, and so I'm going to ask for support for this because there's no way that I can afford to do it. But I think that it's possible, and I definitely think that it is something that I'm excited about. And because I'm excited about it, I think people will be excited about it as well.
Oh, definitely. Have you started it on Kickstarter yet, or is that something upcoming?
I haven't started the Kickstarter just because I'm compiling all the right, because it takes a team to do this whole video, then the audio, and then because basically I'm going to have to find an audio guy that goes basically live with me, and I don't know if we need like a generator and all those kind of things, because I want to go to some really not weird, but really unique settings of places that might not have, an outlet to plug in. And so just the equipment and the things needed, I have to find the right sort of team of people. Once I find that, then I'll know my budget, and then once I know my budget, then I basically start Kickstarter, and I want to have all my I's and my T's all crossed and dotted before I kick it off.
Yeah, and definitely let me know, because that's something that I will help promote on my other show, Take Two Radio. I help promote a lot of Kickstarter and Indiegogo projects right now for for actors, or directors or producers and stuff like that. So once you get that started, let me know, and I will start that on my website and help promote that for you too.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I also wanted to talk about your band, Dr.Seahorse, because I just recently found out about it, and you mentioned it. Now, tell us about that band and how you came up with the name, and what kind of music do you play?
That band is a two-man band with me and one other guy, and it's when I play music under my own name, which I'm talking about myself in third person, it's more acoustic. I play acoustic guitar, I have a band with me, and, keyboardists and bass and drums and things like that, and then that's really fun. But I grew up sometimes listening to people like Michael Jackson and things like that, and, he's not playing acoustic guitar, he's dancing around, and I've always had this sort of kind of dancer side in me, and although I still, try to do it with an acoustic guitar strapped around me, it's definitely a little bit challenging, and which I appreciate the challenge, but I wanted to do something that was unique and different from what I did, is sort of like a creative outlet that was different than the same medium that I had been doing for so long. And so I started this electronic band called Dr.Seahorse with me and an electronic producer guy. And so basically I write the songs and then go over his house and then kind of deliver them to his what they call MIDI keyboard, which, delivers sort of the computer information, the chords that I'm playing and all those kind of things like that. And basically sing the song for him, and then he produces programs an awesome sort of like 80s meets, 90s type of electronic-y music around it. And we call our style, because I'm sort of kind of this gospel-y sort of, soulful vibe, I call that kind of more, I have swag. And then he grew up drumline and he programs things, so it's more sort of like more mathematical, if you will. And I call him, he's like the electro side, I'm the swag side. And so our style is called electro swag, is what we call our style. And, our band's name is Dr.Seahorse, which is just us two, and we perform live. I don't have to play guitar. I just get to sing and dance. And then he plays some live drum stuff mixed with some programmed drum stuff, and does these little gadget gizmo things as well, and plays the tracks. And we have a lot of fun. There's a lot of sound coming from just two guys, and I think we have a lot of high energy music that's going on. It's definitely sort of a different take on me than my normal stuff. And as far as the name Dr.Seahorse, I wrote a song back in the day that was kind of a slow ballad song, and the title of that song was Dr.Seahorse. And when I would tour around in return, like a couple of years later, the people would be, play that Dr.Seahorse song. And I'm like, gosh, how do you even, for one, it's like a ballad song. Like, I didn't think that would be like my popular song. And the fact that I haven't been here for a couple of years, and you actually remember this name of this slow song called Dr.Seahorse, I was like, man, there's something that sticks about that name. And so when we were coming up with a name for the band, I thought Dr.Seahorse was something that stuck, and I thought it felt right. There's a seriousness to calling something. Yeah, there's a seriousness to something calling it like doctor, and a sophistication, yet there's something fun and kind of quirky about kind of throwing the seahorse in there, and that totally represents who we are for sure. We're fun, but we're serious about having fun.
Yeah, that makes sense.